welcome everybody to the
I'm Fat Podcast.
Snacks are best saved for later.
With Jay Zawoski.
That man ate all our shrimp and 2 plastic lobsters.
And Rick Camp.
Out of the mist came a beast more stomach than man.
Welcome into another edition of the I'm Fat Podcast, brought to you by our sponsors, Charlie the Bacon Guy, Mazda of Orland Park, Frato's Culinary Kitchen, and Nick and Ivy Brewing. I am Rick Camp alongside fellow fat Jay Zawoski. If you're watching on the YouTubes, we nailed it.
Yeah, we got it. We looked at each other correctly.
Yes, which felt so weird because I definitely had to look in the opposite direction of what it actually would have been.
Me too.
Whatever.
It's very strange.
Hey,
And I had to think about it way too much to make it happen, which is
same here.
a representation of my dumbness.
Same.
Well, we're back on YouTube. Thanks for your patience last week, all 12 of you that actually watch us there. We appreciate it. YouTube.com/I'mFatPodcast. We're on Twitter, Threads, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook at I'm Fat Pod. Same deal with Patreon. You get our merch, I'mFatMerch.com. What else? Oh, leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Make sure you like the videos on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube page for us so we can start monetizing that biatch.
Yes.
We got a lot to get to today, buddy. A lot.
We do.
How are you, first of all? Everything good?
Yeah, things are going well. It's been a good week. Settling in, all that type of stuff. And yes, it has been a solid week. And I'm trying to think of anything. Yeah, it's just been good.
Why is there a deconstructed mop on the wall behind you? That's very, is it drying?
No.
Okay.
I think it is wonderful decor. Thank you very much.
It looks nice.
It does look nice.
It looks like if you got a dream catcher, but you didn't want to appropriate anyone.
That's really good.
You know,
Yeah.
It's like a white people dream catcher.
Yes.
I got it at Target. It's fine.
Yes.
Anyway, we've got a crap ton to get to. We've got a bunch of emails. We got a bunch of voicemails. So let's get right into it. And I, Rick, as you know, on Red Shirt Day, that I am
I'm glad you mentioned it.
I think Red Homage Shirt Day too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Is yours also an homage shirt?
It is. Which there we go.
There you go. Look at that. Hey, this should sponsor us. Last week, I forgot. I forgot. I went to Paradise Pup in Des Plaines at the recommendation of many people, including our buddy Mark Allen Fishman, our graphic design dude. He was like, "Hey, it's the best burger in the world. You should go." I said, "Okay." So 2 weekends ago, we tried to go to Athletes Unlimited in Rosemont, and it got rained out. We're like, well, we're already on the way there. Let's just try Paradise Pup. We knew we wanted to try it. So it's like your classic drive up, old school burger joint, like order at the window, sit at the picnic table. Nice. 1724 River Road in Des Plaines. And on the recommendation of Mark Fishman, I got the burger. It was excellent.
Oh, nice.
Like you talk about the places in the city, like Au Cheval and Kuma's and like those sort of things, like a different kind of thing.
Sure.
So it's not really comparable as like these super gourmet giant burgers with all these like weird toppings on them, right? If we're talking about fast food burger, best I've had. And this one had Merck's cheddar on it. So they take what I imagine they take is like a paint scraper, and just dip it in the Merck's and just slap that on your burger.
Yes.
Absolutely terrific. And for years, Rick, I have told you that Freddy's on 31st and Union has the best onion rings in the Chicagoland area. They have been dethroned.
Wow.
By Paradise Pup. A really nice, kind of like a beer battery onion ring, but still crispy. You know, sometimes when it's beer battery, it can be a little soft. Like they don't get it just right. It could be a little like sloppy, like and kind of like fall apart.
I bet it's close to to the batter on anything fried at Shoeless Joe's that I've mentioned a few times. Like I
Similar
bet
from my
it's
memory.
probably similar from that.
Yeah, so great. Hope and Addie got hot dogs, and they were wonderful too. It's just it's just one of those places that's been there forever. It's reliable. It probably hasn't changed in the entirety of the time it's been there. The same stuff, you can get it. It was reasonably priced. I wouldn't say it was cheap, but it also wasn't like, ooh, that was steep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was good. It was really, really good. 1724 River Road, Paradise Pup and Des Plaines. So if you're out in that area, it was really quick. They had a really nice like outdoor dining area. It's just tables, picnic tables, but plenty of room, plenty of space. It was even raining and they had umbrellas up and it was great. So super easy to find, easy to park. They have a huge parking lot. You just walk up to the window and order. And of course they had, all your basic, burgers and dogs and beefs and like everything you would imagine at a place like that. And of course, a wide variety of shakes and malts and those sort of things.
Nice.
Just terrific. The burger was killer and it wasn't real fancy, just a nice, quick, delicious burger. Like it was really, really great. And the fries there were good too. Everything we had was wonderful. Everybody was super happy with it. So Paradise Pup, 1724 River Road in Des Plaines. Go check it out if you've not already. Again, it's like one of these places that I'm talking about that really doesn't need my they've probably been there for 50 years and I'm just trying it for the first time. But if you've not been, make a point of it. And if you've been, go again because it was great.
That's exciting because I know like I've heard about it for a while and just haven't found my way to Des Plaines.
Yeah.
So, well, now I'm just going to have to. I'll bite that bullet.
About a half hour from you, I would think.
I think so.
Maybe
not quite that much. Yeah. But it's like in that ballpark at least.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
go check it out. You'll love it.
Nice.
Yeah, it was great.
All right. So my first thing, I tried a place and I'll say off the top, it wasn't like, holy crap, this is fantastic. It was really solid, good, but it's going to spur a question from me that I know we've talked about here before, but it's been quite a while. Yeah. So I went to Sam and I got Joe's Pizza in Schaumburg. It's 530 West Wise Road in Schaumburg. And just like we wanted pizza and we're in like the exploration phase of finding the good stuff around her new place. So we're like, okay, well, we need pizza. It really is. Like we've found some good stuff. More on that later. But
still talking about food, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes, food. So went to Joe's Pizza. We decided to go with pan. Kind of regretted the decision after the fact, just because it's like maybe you should just for a first time at a place go a little more standard, go like a traditional thin crust at that point. So we're probably going to try it again just to try the thin crust because it was good pizza. Like the quality of the cheese is fantastic. So like we got half cheese, half pepperoni on it, and it was like pretty good. The one thing that I will say that made it not great and like a strong recommend whenever you want pizza, but like to just a solid option, sauce was a little bland, but everything else was really good. So while if you're in Schaumburg and you're looking, like you're looking for pizza, that's an option for you. My question is, when you're thinking of pizza, what's your power ranking of importance to be highest quality? Is it like if we make the categories cheese, sauce, dough, toppings? So you have those four. What's most important down to least important for you personally?
I'm going to say the most important thing is the sauce. Because that to me is kind of what differentiates place from place. And so my rankings would be sauce, toppings, dough, and cheese. Because I think for the most part, most pizza places use a similar kind of cheese It's a
Okay.
mozzarella or a 4-cheese or an Italian blend or whatever they use.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't. I think the ratio with cheese is important,
Yes, very
right?
much so.
But I think like the taste of the cheese,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's kind of samey wherever you go.
Okay.
To me, sauce is king because the sauce at Rosangela's,
Mm-hmm.
sorry, is different from the sauce at Aurelio's. It's different from the sauce at Giordano's. It's different from the sauce at Lou's, and all of it is truly kind of what makes it. And what I love about Rosangela's the most is it's got so much oregano in it, and it's just got the ratio is important too. It's not like over sauce, it's not under sauce. It's just kind of perfect for me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got a nice variety of sweet and not spicy, but you know what I mean, like sweet and savory.
Yes.
And you think about Lou's, which has like actual pieces of like tomato chunk in it.
Mm-hmm.
And Giordano's is like kind of like a ragu-y kind of pasta sauce more than just a flat tomato sauce, right?
Mm-hmm.
So to me, that's most important. And then the toppings, like if your sausage is meh, the pizza's gonna be meh. Or if your pepperoni's meh, or your veggies are too big or too small or not distributed well enough, that matters. Of course, dough. Dough is another thing that kind of defines the brand.
Yeah.
But again, like dough all kind of tastes the same.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I think that's how I look at it. But sauce to me is the king. Like that will make or break a pizza spot for me. Is the sauce.
I'm glad you said sauce. That's my number one with a bullet. Like if you're tiering it out, it's sauce is one and in its own tier at that point.
Totally. Yeah.
Yes. So then after that, for me, I actually have cheese number 2 because when you get a place that puts that extra effort into the cheese, that can really put it over the top.
Oh yeah,
Like
absolutely.
when you're getting like high end cheese, like that's one thing I loved about Joe's is you're like, okay, the sauce isn't what we hoped, so it obviously caps what it can be, but that cheese was high quality, really good cheese. So that just kind of lifts it for me. And then, like you mentioned, having the right proportions of each of these things too. I go dough 3 and toppings 4, but I think those are pretty much neck and neck for me. Like maybe it's just because I generally am just a pepperoni person or I don't go too crazy. It's like, okay, what types of meat can I put on a pizza? Like that's pretty much all I'm looking at. Really bad toppings can ruin it, but I think if those other things are set, even just like average toppings can be elevated by the rest of it. So like for me, the best sauce I've had, and I just lucked out that it's always been in my hometown, is Pal Joey's in West Chicago. Has the best sauce I've ever had because like I'm someone where if things are a little bland, I might put some crushed red pepper on there or whatever. But like there's enough spice in that sauce. They put the right amount of sauce on there. Like I'm someone where I would rather be a little more liberally sauced than under so. Like I would rather have too much sauce than too little sauce if I was forced to choose. So that sauce is the absolute best to me. And yeah, having good quality dough as well. Like if I was forced to be like, hey, you can either have great dough and average toppings or great toppings and average dough, I'm going with the dough.
Agree. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because there are places too that are made by the dough.
Right.
I think you could make that argument about Lou's is what makes them so good. I mean, their sauce is really good. I am a 9 times out of 10 a sausage on my pizza guy. Don't love the sausage at Lou's because it's just too garlicky. It's like a 4-day investment.
Yeah.
Because you're just burping up garlic for weeks and weeks, it feels like.
But their dough is fantastic.
Yeah, that's what I always get, and their dough is wonderful.
Yes.
And even when you get the thin crust, you get that butter crust or whatever. So that makes a big difference. But yeah, I mean, look, they're all sort of interchangeable, but bland sauce is bland pizza. Like if I want bland sauce, I'll get a Tombstone. You know, that's to me that's key. So I'm gonna put this on
or get like 5 Jacks for the same price.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna put this poll in our Spotify poll. So if you listen on Spotify, go to the show notes and you'll be able to vote on the poll, which is most important, sauce, dough, toppings, or cheese. So vote in that. We'll update the results next week if I remember, which I probably won't. You always got good ass sauce on your pizza.
I'm gonna guess Frato's.
You're right. Frato's Culinary Kitchen, 628 South Roselle Road in Schaumburg. Nailed it. FratosPizza.com, FratosBakery.com, at Frato's Pizza on Instagram. I told you about my visit last week, and we did not get pizza, but we got the giant mozzarella stick, and that came with the marinara. Actually, no, the Cajun Bites came with the marinara.
Yes, that's
and
true.
that marinara is chunky and thick and just perfect.
How many C's in that marinara?
Ooh, that's a solid 2.5 C's.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think you want marinara much thicker than that because then it becomes not marinara anymore.
Right.
It's more bruschetta than marinara.
Yeah.
But man, Frato's pizza sauce is great. Everything at Frato's is great. But go check out the I'm Fat Pizza or the I'm Fat Burger or the I'm Fat Grilled Cheese. Tons of great stuff there, or anything on their menu. Honestly, like nothing bad. There's nothing you could eat there that you're going to be like, well, that wasn't that good. Incorrect. Right. It's Frato's. And you can wash it down with some RC Cola or St. Pat's. Did you see that stuff? The St. Patrick's, it's like the Green River RC version.
Yes.
I've never seen that before. So I had to get a sip of that. Go to Frato's, check them out, 628 South Roselle Road in Schaumburg, FratosPizza.com. And if you're placing an online order, no matter how big that order is, use that code I'm Fat and you will save 10%. So you want to get like 5 pizzas for a party, 10% adds up after a while. So use that code I'm Fat every time you place an online order at Frato's. You'll be glad you did. And if you talk to people there, like Joe, who's always working, he's got the tattoo of the chef's knife on his forearm. Say, hey, heard about you guys on the I'm Fat podcast. That would help us out big time. So FratosPizza.com, FratosBakery.com. All right,
I was trying to describe him to Sam this week, and that's very hard to do.
Oh, you cannot describe Murph to people.
No,
that's impossible. That's impossible. Like, you just can't. Like, a unique individual. Undescribable.
Yes,
he really is. Maybe she can meet him someday.
Hopefully not for her sake.
Well, that was you saying that, not me. All right, so I think I told you a couple weeks ago, I started eating like Addie's ramen. She's got like the little crappy like block of ramen that you just boil. And I love it. And I've been kind of wanting to get into actual ramen. And I'm a little bit intimidated by it because I'm going to be honest, even though it is the year of me not saying no to any sort of foods, I don't want to go in there and not like it. Like, ramen's not cheap. You know what I mean? So if I order something, there's one thing in there I don't like, I'm intimidated. So, but anyway, this week I'm like, screw it. I'm going to try ramen. I'm going to go to a proper ramen shop. So I went to Kinton Ramen right by my work. It's 163 North Sangamon in the West Loop. Pardon me. And I'm really glad I went because it was freaking delicious. I got the pork ramen. And you can see it there on your screen if you're on YouTube. There's 3 or 4 strips of pork in there. I ordered the extra noodles in there, and then you could see the like wood stick sticking out in the back. Yes. That's like a wooden ladle. So you can sort of use that to gather your noodles on, and then when you're done, you can drink the broth that way.
Okay. It
was excellent. So now that I've tried proper ramen, as opposed to the 3-cent crappy ramen that we ate in college, I'm ready to try some other places. But the Kinton was great. 163 North Sangamon again in the West Loop. It was so good. Yeah. I loved it. It was absolutely delicious. So I want to go back a little bit, though, because remember back in the day, Rick, when we worked in Prudential, there was that, what was it called? Like Marketplace Creations.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it was at the base of the stairs, right on the way down to the pedway.
Yes, and they had like your basic hot bar foods. I would say it was like one of the nicer hot bars you've ever seen. There was some good stuff, but for whatever reason, they had this incredible ramen chef. I don't know if the guy was like between jobs and just needed something. Or like, hell yeah, we'll have a ramen bar here, and they did.
Yeah.
And you could sort of a la carte your ramen. And for me, that was perfect. That was perfect. So that I really got into having it often there. And then I haven't been able to really find anything that scratched that itch for me or was that would allow me to a la carte it the way that he did.
Yeah.
So since then, I haven't really had it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm so glad I went here. So this leads me to the next part.
Well, let me do something real quick.
Oh, okay.
As an interlude to this. Isn't it funny that a couple weeks ago we were like, imagine having soup in summer. And then even though ramen's not exactly soup, like there's definitely soup-like elements.
It is in the soup family.
Yes. And then also this week, because we had so much food left over from the housewarming party.
Oh yeah.
Like there was a ton of stuff left on the veggie tray, which is, like my people were here.
KYP, as you would say.
Yes, exactly. So Sam was like, what do we do with this? She's like, you know what? I can make cream of chicken with rice soup and we can get a ton of these basically just not let the veggies go to waste. So we had soup this week too.
Perfect. See?
Yeah.
Look, so here's
and we both sweat through the meal because it was like it's soup and it was like a warm day. So we're like, whatever, we're not wasting the food. And we just like, we're eating soup and like, she might be the smidge and I'm like drenched.
You're like
me.
You're the Jordan Peele.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah. But ramen it's definitely a soup.
Mm-hmm.
But I will argue that the difference is that ramen can be a meal in itself.
Yes.
Like you can have ramen and be full.
I guess I'm more just thinking about the literal temperature and like that, the soup and the broth and like just for when it's the summer. And we're like, imagine eating soup in the summer. And then we're both like, actually.
Oh, trust me. I had the beads of sweat on my forehead from this too.
Nice.
And it was good. So anyway, go to work. I tell Casey, like, hey, I tried this ramen place. It was really, really good. And she goes, okay, well, the best place for ramen in near us is called High Five Ramen. It's on Green Street. So great. A couple days later, get to work early as I always do. I'm like, all right, I'm going to hit up High Five. So I navigate over to that area. Again, very, very close, right on Green Street there. And they don't open till 4. And it's 11. So, but what's right next door to High Five Ramen? Green Street Smoked Meats.
Oh.
This is a legendary Chicago barbecue spot that for whatever reason I had never been. I had intended to go a few times in my life and just for whatever reason, like didn't have enough time or something got in the way. So I kind of accidentally stumbled upon it because I didn't know they were right next door to each other. So 11 a.m., dude. I walk in, I'm like, well, this is happening.
Yep.
Got myself the pulled pork sandwich.
Nice.
And the it wasn't, it came with corn, it did not come with it, but I had to pay for the cornbread. But I'm really glad I did. It was $5 extra for the cornbread. But you can see on the screen, that's not a pulled pork slider. That is a full-size pulled pork.
Okay, and so that's a significant portion of cornbread.
Yeah, and you can see I cut probably, a sixth of it off and ate it already.
Yeah.
From there. So there's the pulled pork. You can see in the back, there's 2 kind of barbecue sauces on the left. And then that cup on the right is honey butter.
Oh, dude, honey butter, man.
Yeah. Which I promptly spread all over the cornbread. This, I know pulled pork, right? It's kind of the standard.
Sure.
It was fucking amazing.
Nice.
It was so good. Like it's been a while since I've had really good barbecue.
Yes.
Kind of too long. I will say there's one void in Homewood. It's barbecue. Like there are places around, but they're always like, they're not the greatest. Like there's one place that my buddy, that Brian, our buddy Brian, says it's like wedding barbecue.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Like it's kind of, yeah. I blew up Maze because I talked about it too much. So that's no longer open. Then I think Maze reopened somewhere, but it didn't work. So I think they're closed. They might still have the food truck. I have to look into that. So barbecue is tough to find around here. We used to love going to Q. There's Q in LaGrange, but that's far from us. And there was one in I don't know, Maryville or Hammond or one of those nearby Indiana places. But that one,
the one that I would go to is in downtown Naperville. Not to say that that's close for you because it's not, but just like Q barbecue, I've had that. So
I've been missing it. I have been missing barbecue big time. And Green Street Smoked Meats, man. Oh my God. If you and I have a city date, that's where it's got to be. And it's really cool. Like the door is like a garage door size. So you basically just walk in. And if you've ever, I'm sure you have not been to this area. Green Street, like where High Five is and Green Street Smoked Meats is, it's like a cobblestone alley. And there's those two restaurants, and then there's like a bar, and there's a bunch of cool stuff in that alley.
Wow.
And the alley is set up with like outdoor dining. Like it seriously feels like you walk into a different country.
Okay.
Like, you feel like you're in Europe for a minute. You're just walking down these cobble streets, like between these old Chicago buildings, and there's all this food, and people are just out eating. And man, it was great. But you walk in there, you walk up your order, they slice it right in front of you.
Nice.
You know, and they have all the drinks are like in a bathtub. It's like pull your can out of the bathtub. It was great. Like everything that ever it had been promised to be, it was, except when I always heard about Green Street, I thought it was going to be like a little more high end.
Okay.
And it wasn't in a good way.
Nice.
Like I always thought, is this like a reservation place? Is it going to be like, I'm going to order barbecue and get like one little slice of brisket with like a sprinkle of sauce on it and like some foam? And I don't want that. I want big hearty barbecue. It's exactly what it was. It was awesome. So go there. You need to take Sam to the city on a date, man.
I know. Well, and we were talking today about, I forget if there was a specific place that we saw that made us think of it, of just like, we got to get to a barbecue place. Because it's even, and that's coming from me. I haven't been to a barbecue place in too long. Yeah. So like, it's just going to have to happen.
Well, she doesn't eat. But what does she eat? What's she going to eat there, though?
Chicken, turkey.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not saying they're the best options, but they are options.
I mean, it works. I mean, you know, get a turkey leg or pulled chicken. That's fine. So again, Green Street Smoked Meats, 112 North Green Street. Again, Chicago institution, just a place that I had not been able to get to for a while for whatever reason. So really good. Yeah. Really good.
Okay. So speaking of Sam, she had a great idea today as we're recording on Sunday of like, just what's something we can do to jazz up a Sunday? She's like, okay, we're looking for different food. Why not do a different donut place every Sunday and try and see like, not even just like within Hanover Park, but like in the area, where are we going to get the best donuts?
Wait, pause.
Yes.
Sam wants to go to a different donut place every Sunday.
Either go to, or like today, just go pick up. Go pick up and bring them home.
Have you bought a ring?
Not if I could maybe make one of the donuts a ring.
There you go. That's
like,
it.
Like, excuse me, can you make this ring or this donut maybe like a third of the size, and then I can eat around the part that won't be the ring?
Yeah. Yes. See, there you go.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
damn.
Yeah, I know. And she was like, and I was just like, oh my God, that's
Rick's got the cartoon hearts flying over his head and
yeah, exactly. Yes. The old like classical music from every cartoon when somebody falls in love.
Yes.
Yeah, that's going on. So excuse me. We started today with country style donuts, 1519 Irving Park Road in Hanover Park. So they had a deal on a dozen donuts. So we got ourselves a dozen donuts and basically shotgun approached this thing. Just like every donut cut in half. Like, okay, let's try these at the same time.
Oh, look, half a donut.
Yes, exactly. That's pretty much what we were doing. So, I mean, now this is a place for people. Just if you plan on doing this, it's a donut place that's open 24 hours.
Oh boy.
So let's keep in mind that when I say you go there to order through the drive-through or to go in and get a dozen donuts and take them home or take them wherever you're going, not the best place to be eating in.
Okay.
So just keep that in mind. Everything behind the counter is great, but the seating area leaves a bit to be desired.
Are you getting some Waffle House vibes, you saying? Like,
kinda. Yeah,
okay.
like that. So
Gotcha.
I would just say, if you're planning on doing this, maybe take them home, maybe take them to wherever you're going. You can eat there. It's not like there's not tables and stuff like that. It's just not the best aesthetic in the world.
Sure. Understood.
But the donuts, really good.
That Long John looks killer. And what are those two with the powdered sugar? Are those like powdered sugar old fashions?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, they look like they have like a crunch to them.
That's what, so the cake donuts, and yes, those do have a crunch to them, and you can like kind of almost like see layers that, man, they're cake donuts so I'm more of a cake donut person. Sam is more of a yeast donut person. Like the cake donuts, it's clearly cake, but it's not crazy dense.
Okay. Can you help me? Because I'm a stupid person.
Yeah.
Dunkin' would be a yeast donut.
Correct.
Got it. Okay.
7-Eleven has both. Like,
so like the fluffy ones are yeast, the cake ones are the little more dense. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Makes sense.
So for those on the YouTubes, if I can remember correctly, going from top left and down each column, you have a marble cake donut, an apple spice donut.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That
good.
One hit the spot for me. The one on the bottom left was a honey dip. So I'll be honest, that one I was hoping for it to be a little more honey forward. You get a little bit, but not too much, which I can also understand. 2 of those powdered sugared old fashions, which were awesome. On top is a chocolate on chocolate cake donut. And then under it was both of our favorite. It said on the sign when I was going in, because I kind of come up with a game plan. Sam had some she definitely wanted. I had some I definitely wanted. And then you leave a couple spots for what looks best when you see it in the baskets.
Yeah.
I saw a sign that said, "Try our new lemon donut."
Ooh.
So we did.
You did.
and it's like the balance of that sweet and the lemon was perfect. It was a cake donut. It almost looked like an old fashioned, but it wasn't. But like the lemon was really good. Like it was a lighter cake. Like the I always worry with stuff like that is the balance of lemon and sweet going to be off, and they like knocked that out of the park. So that's great. You have just a chocolate and traditional cake, the chocolate Long John, 2 buttermilk. The buttermilk were very good.
Good job with the cock and balls design of the Long John and the 2 chocolates, by the way.
I know, right?
It's subtle, but it's there.
I appreciated it because the guy, when I walked in there, I think the guy was almost like thrown off by the fact that someone came inside. Because I assumed he was, well, it was also like noon, like 12:30. So it wasn't like prime time anymore. So he was like folding boxes and was just like, hi. So it was almost like was that Long John Silver's people?
Yes. Hello? At the drive-thru? Someone's here?
Yes. That's pretty much what it was. But man, and we haven't even gotten through trying all the types yet. But what we've tried has been really, really good. So even if like we're going to try other places and make this a thing, but it's just like, it's a really great option to have, like very close to her place.
Have you ever tried the place by Frato's? Is it like country donuts or cottage donuts or?
I haven't.
You know what I'm thinking of? You've seen it.
Yes.
I can't think of what it's called.
I'm going to write that down so I don't.
Oh yeah. When I'm on my way to Frato's, I have like blinders. Like just get me to Frato's. But yeah,
Yeah,
I always
I'm
drive
gonna
by
have
that.
to write that one down to add it to the list because we were trying to think of. We have a couple others that are in the area that we already have on the list, but we got to add that one too.
All right, check it out. It's good.
Yeah. So again, on the address, Country Style Donuts, 1519 Irving Park Road in Hanover Park.
Okay. Wrote down. We'll add to the I'm Fat map
Nice.
as I do everything, and I will drive there someday in my Mazda CX-30. See that segue,
Ooh.
Rick?
Mhm.
Or potentially the CX-5, depending on how I'm feeling, because I have two Mazdas, a 2015 CX-5, a 2022 CX-30. Love them both. I keep hearing from them because we're overdue for an oil change on the CX-5, but we're not really because we haven't reached the mileage yet. And I don't go by date. I go by mileage.
Agreed.
Yeah. All right. So we'll get there, Mazda. Don't worry. I'm overdue for the 30. They just don't know that yet because I'm putting a shit ton of miles on that thing.
Yeah.
But I'll get in there soon for an oil change. And boy, I actually really enjoy bringing my car there because I get to talk to my buddy Eric Vates, who helps me out big time every time I'm there. But just the service is great. I know my car is being taken care of. I can grab a beverage in the waiting room and watch TV or set up my laptop and jump on their free Wi-Fi, whatever I need to do. It's just such a great place to get your car serviced and a great place to buy a car. You should too. Mazda of OrlandPark.com. Give them a call, 708-444-3200, or stop by the showroom, 8910 West 159th Street in Orland Park. Ask for Eric Vates and tell him the I'm Fat podcast sent you. And he'll say, please leave.
Right. and tell him your name sent you.
Exactly. All right. So I mentioned we've been driving all over the place. Yesterday, we went to my niece's birthday party in Wilmington, which is like
which is a town in Illinois.
It is. It's right in the Kankakee River. My brother-in-law's family has a cottage they've owned there for 50 years. It's really great. We go there all the time. They also have an in-ground pool. So we get to go there, go swimming, get out on the boat. Like it's just I love going. I get so excited when we get invited to the cottage in Wilmington. And yesterday was no exception. So, they got Italian beef in the crock pot for us to have, tons of desserts. But as you're out and you're out in the sun, like you work up an appetite. So Addie was sleeping over at my brother and sister-in-law's. So Hope and I just had home by ourselves, and we're like, man, like I don't know how we're hungry, but we're hungry. So we're driving through Joliet down Jefferson because we just know there's stuff there.
Sure.
And we see Babe's hot dogs. And when my brother-in-law has had parties before, he always gets their hot dogs party. Babe, they are huge hot dogs. They sell them sometimes at like in your grocery, like where you would buy the sausages, Daisy brand, and they're big, fat, honking hot dogs, like something you'd find in your mother's shoebox under her bed. We saw that TikTok this week. look for that TikTok when the kids aren't around.
It's an all-timer.
It is.
It's incredible. I think I liked it. So if you want a shortcut to it, I think go to my TikTok at Rick C. Camp, and I'm pretty sure look under my likes, and I'm pretty sure it's there.
Yeah. Anywho, I'll just say it's a large hot dog, but delicious.
Problematic hot dog.
Problematic, not in taste though. So, Babes, another cool place. Pull up, picnic tables, old school. They had a sign saying our lobby's closed because we don't have enough people working today. So feel free to just take your food and eat outside, whatever. I got corn dogs, so I just had a taste, and I knew they were going to be great. Delicious fries. Hope got one of the giant hot dogs with onions on it. Just an awesome neighborhood. Been there forever kind of a place. 2600 West Jefferson is the address. It's just great. It's the only thing we had. I had corn dogs. You can't screw that up. Hope had a hot dog. You can't screw that up. But Babe's hot dogs especially, get that jumbo. And if you're normally someone who gets two, just get one because it's huge. Just know you're getting a massive hot dog. And it's not like a long skinny. It's a normal length, but it's real thick. It's 3 C's thick, at least.
Okay.
But delicious. Great fries, great buns. The bun was great. Everything at Babe's was wonderful. So if you're out in the Joliet area, check that out. Again, if you're from Joliet, you're like, yeah, Jay, babes, no shit. Like, of course, it's a staple, but I'm not from there. But we saw it. It was on the south, I believe the south side of the street. And I was driving east and I was in the wrong lane. So I was like, the 2-lane turn into the parking lot.
Yeah.
Like, I think we're good. Bam, almost flipped the car over. But not the CX-30. They don't do that.
I was just going to say,
yeah,
I was just going to say, you have some other BS brand and then that might happen, but not with CX-30.
Hell no. It took that turn beautifully. So yeah, that was great. And I got a couple things to taste.
I have another interlude.
Oh,
so at the party, the people that had the cute baby at the party.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Sam's party. I thought you were talking about the party I was at yesterday.
Oh, sorry, no, Sam's party.
Okay.
They're the ones that were like, hey, we know the guy that you guys are making fun of on the score. They know the dude from the bun.
No shit.
Yeah.
Well, what? We gotta get him on.
We might be able to.
Yeah, he is getting a fat bracket.
The bun?
Absolutely, we're getting that guy on.
I'll work on it.
Oh my god, yes, work on it. We put him on the score like shortly after that happened.
Yeah.
I wonder if I have him in here. I swear to God, I probably have him in my contacts as Blammers. Yes, I do. His name is Dave Murray. Under you know, you can put like the title of somebody in your phone. Dave Murray, Blammers guy.
That's great.
All right. Well, if we can drop a name, that would help.
Yes.
Blammers guy would be great to have our celebrity bracket this year.
Yes.
That
would be fantastic.
All right, good. Well, let's keep that in mind and not forget it come February. Yes. Okay. Taste test. Yes. I know you got one more thing before I get to Ask a Fat.
Yep.
M&M's cookie dough.
Yes.
Now I made this choice. It was M&M's, it was Snickers, and it was Twix.
Okay.
And Hope said, get the Snickers. And I said, I would typically agree with you. However, M&M cookies are my favorite cookies. Ergo, M&M cookie dough should be my favorite cookie dough. Now, I'd be lying if I said I haven't tasted this yet.
It's like, that bag opens mighty easily, Jay.
Yes. There's a substantial portion of the bag missing. I don't know what happened to it. So I'm going to try to hold these up for the camera.
Yeah.
They're very small.
Okay.
Very small. But you can see in there the little bits, like crushed up bits of M&M.
Yes, which is the best way to have that. Yeah.
For those not watching on the YouTubes, if you own a dog, you've probably given your dog the Zooks little treats, the little training treats. They're maybe 40% bigger than that.
Okay.
So I'll say this. Visually, they're kind of dark brown. Like, they're not what I was, like, they're darker. They don't look very good. But they taste great. And they've got that essential cookie dough sugary crunch.
Yes.
Like the grainy sugary. So good.
Nice.
So I got to try the other brands. Mars makes this. So is Mars Snickers and Twix? It must be.
Yes. I remember at least the Snickers part of it, I think, being part of Food That Saved America.
Okay. Yes. So this is good. I will say, very sugary. It is 20 grams of carbs and 11 sugars for 2 tablespoons of these.
Oh.
Which is probably about 10 pieces.
Okay.
So if you've got diabetes, be careful. As I eat my 10th handful today.
I was just going to say.
Okay. Very good. As you would imagine, M&M's cookie dough would be.
Yeah.
Now I need to cleanse the palate with a Prime.
Of course. Everybody
I've not tried these yet.
Drinking Prime.
Tic Tac Sprite. I've had the Coke Tic Tacs and are excellent. These are the Sprite ones, which I believe are brand new.
Interesting.
So they're yellow, which I would not have predicted. I thought they would have been white.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That tastes exactly like Sprite.
Really?
That's really good. That might be the best Tic Tac available.
Wow, better than orange?
Yep. Yes.
Wow.
And I love orange Tic Tacs.
Yeah.
To me, a box of orange Tic Tacs is a serving.
Yeah. Yes. So Shane is an orange, he's an orange Tic Tac fiend. And yeah, to him, those are like sunflower seeds almost. Like with how many you'll pop at once.
Yeah. Keeping his between his lip and his gums.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Those are great. Find
I'm
those.
gonna have to check those out
Both of these I got at the Jewels today.
at the Jewels. Okay.
Should be easy to find.
Tic Tac Jewels.
All right, while I'm
Gotcha.
doing my rapid fire stuff,
Yes.
one more thing for you.
Okay.
I have a quiz.
Oh, okay.
Play along at home. In your traditional bag of lifesavers,
Uh-huh.
the original, you have red,
Yes.
you have like light yellow / white,
Okay.
you have green,
Mm-hmm.
orange,
Mm-hmm.
and purple.
Yes.
Okay. So we all know the red is cherry.
Mm-hmm.
We all know the orange is orange.
Yes.
What is the yellow?
The yellow,
Or white, whatever you want to call it.
is that like a lemon?
It's pineapple.
Mm.
Okay, but probably the least popular lifesaver. What is the purple lifesaver?
I would default to grape, but I'm assuming it's not grape by the way you set it up.
It is not grape. It is raspberry.
Oh.
What is the green lifesaver?
It should be either lime or apple.
It is neither of those. It is watermelon. We had a bag of these at work, like a big, like jumbo bag of Jolly Ranchers for a little candy jar. And I looked at the bag in the drawer and I said, I feel like I've been living a lie my whole life. I always thought grape and either green apple or whatever. No, it is raspberry and it is watermelon. And now that I know this, it's absolutely correct. It is absolutely raspberry and watermelon. But your mind just plays tricks on you because you see the color. Your mind tells you that this color is the flavor of grape.
Yes.
But it's not. Or it's the flavor of apple.
My favorite flavor is red. Yes.
Yeah, purple's a fruit, as Homer Simpson once said.
Yes.
Yeah, so I was kind of mind blown by that. That holy cow, green. The pineapple one, I think I knew.
Okay,
but the watermelon and raspberry, that was a shock to me.
That surprises me.
Yeah,
although it's not like a pure purple. That almost looks like maroony.
Yeah, but in hand, it is purple.
It is purple. Okay,
it is. Yeah, in your hand, it is definitely like a deep purple color. So
interesting.
I know. It kind of screwed me up this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, I thought I had an idea of life, and now I got to question everything.
Yes. All right. I know you've got one more thing to hit. Mm-hmm. Before we do, want to tell everybody about our newest sponsor, Nick and Ivy Brewing Company in Lockport, 1026 South State Street in Lockport. Look, every week we try to tell you about something Nick and Ivy's doing. It's almost impossible to keep up with because they have so much going on. So do yourself a favor, jump on Facebook, follow Nick and Ivy Brewing on Facebook. They are constantly updating their events pages and everything. And even if they're not like hosting an event themselves, they're going to be somewhere or out at the, Lockport Street Fest or whatever. Nick and Ivy is just an awesome company. And the more we learn and the more we are associated with them, the more I love this partnership because they're just awesome. They do a ton for the community, a ton for the people that live in the community. Oh, and on top of that, they make kick-ass beer. Mm-hmm. They're family-owned, which is super important these days. Paul and Chrissy own the place, and they do a wonderful job producing beers for everybody. If you are a beer snob, you're covered. if you're a beer novice like me, and I'm like, I don't know, I like Miller High Life. It's my go-to. I don't really love, and you, I think, Rick, are the same way. Like, we're not big craft beer dudes.
Yeah, I don't need hop shoved in my face. I get it. You can put a lot of hops in a beer.
Yeah, Nick and Ivy has something for everybody. So if that is your thing, you're gonna love it. If you're like me and you just want simple, you want accessible, you want drinkable, boom, they've got you covered there. The other thing I love about Nick and Ivy is the atmosphere in there. A lot of times you go to these breweries and they're kind of like hoity-toity, snooty. You feel like you need like a handlebar mustache and a fedora and all this stuff. No, Nick and Ivy, you're a Cubs fan, you're a Sox fan. The game's on TV. Chances are the Bears will be on there they will be on there every Sunday.
Yeah.
9 TVs, all tuned to sports. Not a big deal. Tons of live music. Every Tuesday, they do an open mic. Every Friday and Saturday, live acts come and play their stage. You can bring in food from any of the great places in the Lockport area to just sit down and eat at Nick and Ivy. It's an awesome place. On Instagram and Facebook, look up Nick and Ivy Brewing. Their website is nickivybrewing.com, NIKIVY brewing.com. There it is. Awesome. Check them out. Go visit them. 1026 South State Street in Lockport.
Okay. So another thing that, it's fun when you get to bring someone to a place that you know, and you get to see their reaction.
Yes.
I got to do something fun with Sam today where we were like, we just wanted to kind of get out around dinner time. And somehow there are 2 staples of like fast casual chains that she had not been to, and we knocked them both out today.
Nice.
So and it worked out well because she's someone that absolutely, and mind you, I realize this is not authentic. This is what it is. Save the, well, you could go somewhere authentic. It's not what we're going for here. Up. Yes. She'd never been to Noodles and Company.
Ah.
So
you took out another mortgage, eh?
Yeah, right. So I didn't realize like there were white women that had not been to Noodles and Company, but I found one.
That's a thing? Wow.
Yeah, right. So she got like Japanese noodles with the grilled chicken. I got the buffalo chicken mac. And she's like, oh, this is a thing. I'm like, yeah, it's like, if you're just like, I want something I'm going to be satisfied and whatever, like just, yes, a really solid experience. And it's like a better location of it where it seemed like the people that were at least working there half cared about being there. So that was a plus.
It can be hit or miss that way.
Yeah. Also, though, not a fan of the old paper straws. I warned her about that. It's the worst. I got a refill before we left, and I changed out my straw.
Yeah,
because I'm like, you need to.
Right.
It's ridiculous. So then after that, she's like, I have another idea. And I'm like, okay, cool. She's like, I know you've mentioned Andy's frozen custard. I've never been. There's one right over here. Let's go. So, twist my arm on that one. It's like, oh no. Go get ice cream. Well, frozen custard still. At Andy's? That is terrible. So she got her first Andy's frozen custard experience too, and was like, and this is where me and her relate, of just like, she was worried of like, well, this is a place a lot of people go all the time. I don't want to hold up a line and all that stuff. I'm like, hey, it's a walk up at Andy's. You're good. The menu's right there. You can look at it as long as you want. And yes, very satisfied on both accounts. And now both of those are checked off the list of like, fast casual places that pretty much everybody's been to now. And just like solid options for, like, we were both kind of tired today. Just like, I don't want to think too much. I don't want to put too much effort into all this. Where can we go? Yeah. And I think those are like pretty solid options for that situation. And it's just fun to see someone go through those first experiences, especially when it's a place that a lot of people have been before. And we take for granted that everybody's been there.
I'd just like to point out to you, as if you don't already know, that in this episode alone, you've told me that Sam wants to go try a different donut place every weekend.
Yeah.
You went to lunch, were satisfied, and then said, hey, Let's also go get ice cream.
Yeah.
Dude.
Mm-hmm.
All right. As long as you know.
Yep, I do.
I mean, there is still a weird mop on your wall, but
Yes.
when you're making the list.
Oh, exactly. Exactly. We are. I'm used to heavily weighted, and we are heavily weighted into the yes category here.
You know what I like about Sam too, is that I've met her twice, and I feel like I can already bust her chops.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. See, that's great.
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
it's good. Well, that sounds like a fun little Sunday.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Wait, was this all today?
Yeah, the donuts, the Andes, and the noodles was all today.
Nice, dude. My day yesterday was so freaking bad. It's like almost embarrassing. I'll tell you. So in the morning, I usually I think I told you about those Starbucks egg bites. That's been like my go-to morning because it's no carbs, really easy start for a diabetic. But screw that. I bought my mom those Entenmann's donuts, like the chocolate frosted.
Yeah.
She didn't eat any of them, so I took them home. Had one of those for breakfast. Then Hope's like, well, I'm hungry for breakfast. I'm going to run the Great American Bagel. I'm like, cool. Give me the Supreme Sunrise. You know what the Supreme Sunrise is? It's bacon, sausage, cheese, and egg on a bagel.
That'll work.
So I had that and a chocolate donut for breakfast.
Nice.
I had, then we went to the party. So I had Italian beef and I had 2 pieces of cake. I had a chocolate chip cookie the size of the cookie you had.
Perfect.
At Sam's party, I ate probably half of a dish of buffalo chicken dip.
Oh, okay. On brand.
By the way, 2 Italian beef sandwiches, not just one.
Okay.
I did have some fruit salad because I'm healthy. Then after all of that, we were still hungry, so we went to Babe's. This was all yesterday.
That's fantastic.
So if you see me grab my chest and fall, call 911 because it's about time. Holy cow, what a horrible food weekend for me. It was just awful, dude. I ate so bad this weekend. It's embarrassing. But whatever. I'm fine. I'm still here. I've lost some weight, so I got some I can cheat. I can have a horrible day every now and again, but oh my god, it was so bad.
Yep.
As we were driving in Hope's like, we should find something to eat. I started doing like the audit of my day. I was like,
yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna say no though.
Exactly.
All right. We're running late. Is it time for Ask a Fat?
Oh, we're way past time.
Bless me, Father, for I've sinned. It's been 1 week since my last confession.
Okay, my son. What is your confession?
I'm fat.
Ask a Fat is brought to you by our buddy, Charlie the Bacon Guy, and here he is with this week's Bacon Report.
Thanks, Jay. This week, we have maple pepper, 6 pepper, French toast, and ranch bacon. Bacon jams are the original, the bourbon, and the chorizo. Be making some pineapple or some spicy pineapple by the end of the week, maybe the weekend. Who knows? Keep an eye out for that. Just a reminder that all bacon will be packed by 12-ounce packages instead of pounds moving forward, but there are a couple of 1-pound packages of maple pepper left. Get it while you can, but it will still be available just in smaller packages. The maple jalapeno and shawarma bacons were delicious. I think the maple jalapeno needs a little bit more zip on it, so I'm going to try that one more time before I release it to you guys.
Sign me up.
I do have some for sampling. If there's anybody who would like some, let me know on your next order. For the Bacon Report, I'm Charlie the Bacon Guy.
Oh, that all sounds really good. I'm glad the new ones worked out. The shawarma is going to be good too. Ooh, I'm down for all of it, Charlie. I sent him some ideas this week. I said, how about Nashville hot and a whiskey peppercorn? And he said, those are 2 good ideas.
Ooh.
So, yeah. Whiskey peppercorn, really hot in the Sandlot, by the way.
Yeah.
Get some bacon from Charlie. Charlie the Bacon Guy at gmail.com. Before when we're done, let's put a pin in this and come back to it. Okay. Charlie the Bacon Guy at gmail.com, at CZ the Bacon Guy on Twitter, Charlie the Bacon Guy on Instagram. Hit him up. That's how you get your bacon. Really easy to do. Do it. Everyone who's gotten it so far has loved it. You know why? Because it's freaking bacon.
Yes.
What the hell's wrong with you? It can't be bad. All right. pin removed.
Mhm.
What is the ruling when you're watching a movie
Yes.
and you know the person in the movie is your age now, but they were hot in the movie when they were significantly younger, but then so were you,
Mhm.
so it's okay, right?
Yeah, see, like I've thought about that too, and it's when I tend to think like when I go back and watch. So I've been listening to on and off the Boy Meets World rewatch podcast.
Yes.
So I'll go back and I'll watch an episode. Like if there's one that I'm a little fuzzier on, I'll like go back and maybe try and watch it. And I feel like I transport back to myself at that time.
That's a
So
good way
like
to put it.
yeah, so like it's almost, especially when it's like more of a nostalgic show. Yeah, like that scenario where it's like more of a nostalgic show for you. Part of that reason you want to watch it again is because you're kind of going back to wherever you were at that point in time. So I
Okay.
think that's okay.
Okay, so for the record, Danielle Fishel, the actress who plays Topanga,
Hmm.
is 42 years old.
Yes.
Marley Shelton, the actor that plays Wendy Peppercorn,
Hmm.
is 49.
Really?
So she's old. She's 4 years older than me.
Okay.
So but then if you're going back and you're watching the old show and you're like, she is hot, and you say it in current tense, referring to what's on the screen. That's okay.
I think so.
All right, because you were that age when you first saw them.
Yes.
Like it's not like you're. I'm not going to make an example because it's going to sound like
okay.
Yes. Okay, if Hope was watching Stranger Things,
sure,
and said, "Oh, that boy from Stranger Things, I don't know, is really hot." That's different.
Yes.
Okay.
Very different.
But if yes, okay, all right, good, fine.
Yes.
So I can still watch The Sandlot and see Wendy Peppercorn and say, "Hot person."
Yes.
All right, good.
Yes.
If we're wrong about this, let us know.
I think we became a team today.
Well, see, I always assumed that I was older than her.
Mm-hmm.
Because Sandlot was 93, so I would have been like a sophomore in high school. So yeah, that's probably about right. That's probably yeah.
Yeah, I was I was 7.
So she was clearly like college age in that movie.
Yeah. And it's
Okay.
interesting to hear the actors talk about, especially when they're kids, like how they have to play up or play down a few years of age. Like that's something else too that you end up having to think that I didn't think of as much until listening like to some of these rewatch podcasts when like, oh yeah, I was playing someone X age, but I was like 4 years older than that.
Anyway, let's get to the voicemail before we keep saying stupid stuff, shall we?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
All right. 708-858-3314 is the number. Call it. Talk to us.
Hey, Tacs. It's Jason from Oshkosh. Jay, question for you. Did you bring a housewarming gift to Sam's house?
Yes.
And if you didn't, how rude.
I did.
But if you did, this would have been a great opportunity for you to get Rick on the bidet train. After the story about being at Sam's parents, I think it would be a great fit. Plus, you have talked about the bidet in the past, and I don't remember, but I believe Rick did not have one. This would have been a great opportunity to bring one to Sam's house, and it would have been a lot of humor to the party as well. Keep up the great work. Love the pod.
That's a fantastic call.
Damn it.
That's such a that's and the best part is the two people in my life who have recommended bidets more than anybody, you and Marty, both at the party, neither thought. Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. That's such a great call, Jason.
Oh my God. I totally blew that. It would have been a great gag gift and also functional. I don't know if it might not have fit the you might have had to take it home, is what I'm saying.
Possibly.
For her aesthetic.
Sure.
Maybe you just don't want that. Because
I want to know what aesthetic a bidet goes with.
Yeah, I see. For me, like the bidet is in the basement bathroom.
Yeah.
Which is just my poop in war room, man. Like it's not for guests. It's not for anyone but me. You know what I mean? Like I would not put that on the main floor.
The poop and war room.
Yeah. Like it's if I like even if I'm laying in bed and I get the bubbling, I'm
Yeah.
heading I'm like, well, I'm headed to the basement because it's gonna need it. And let me
If
tell
there's
you,
bumbling, Jay's a stumbling to
if
the
there's
downstairs
absolutely,
bathroom.
and if you ever have a colonoscopy, you will be very happy you had a bidet throughout that process because it'll save you a lot of money,
Yeah.
and a lot of discomfort.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a lot. Volume. A lot of volume. All right. Next voicemail. Thank you, Jason. Where were you last week? Jerk.
Hey, Jane and Rick. Ryan from Highlands, Indiana here. I think you guys mentioned the McDonald's jalapeno cheddar McMuffins recently. I had a chance to have one this morning, and let me tell you, it is awesome. I definitely can recommend it. I think it's, for me, still the sausage McMuffin is the goat of breakfast sandwiches, but the offerings from Wendy's are coming in a second place for me. But this one I can highly recommend if you have a chance to go out and grab one of the new cheesy jalapeno breakfast sandwiches. I would say go for it. Love the podcast, boys. Keep it up.
I don't know how I haven't had this yet.
Yeah.
It's shameful. It is a failure on my part. I will do it this week.
Okay.
I will have it this week. I'll make a point.
I'm not gonna lie. With working at home as much as I do, my ass just isn't out the door.
Well,
I might be working, but my ass is not out the door in time.
Well, hopefully that changes for you soon.
Hopefully.
All right, let's get to the email segment and then wrap this up and let our poor listeners off the hook.
Yeah.
Ask a fat about this and that. It's time to chat with the fats.
Ask a fat. Email us. I'm fatpod@gmail.com. I don't know. My brain just like shut that out. I'm like, am I saying that right? As I was saying it. Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm fatpod@gmail.com. The first one here comes from our buddy Fat Matt. He says, what is the weirdest combination of food you have thrown together when having the munchies? I say this because I took a picture of my pizza nachos I made in an hour or two of the gummy. I see. He's inebriated, is he? I had to correct this email a few times because I think he was on the gummy when he sent it. They consisted of tortilla chips, a crap ton of cheese, and pizza rolls on top. Holy cow.
Wow.
It says picture attached. He did not send a picture. Good gummies, Matt. Good job. That does sound really good. I'm never, and maybe it's my weird thing about not mixing brands and not mixing flavors. For me, when I get the munchies, it's about a lot of it. I'm just going to eat like an entire bag of something. I will say, in my youth, I used to make spaghetti sandwiches. Like I would seriously make spaghetti. Either like I would boil some and make it, and then I would get like bread and butter and just eat the whole thing as a sandwich. Or I would like microwave Chef Boyardee, or something like that, and just put it on bread.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I'm fat.
Who knows?
But that's before, like, well, maybe people knew, but my mom didn't know that carbs were not good for you.
Is butter a carb?
Well, my mom thought like, well, it's healthy because it's not fried. That was kind of her theory. Like, well, have some bread and butter. There's nothing bad there. Like, well, it's all bad. There's nothing good there. You know what I mean? Like that's and that's how I got fat. I know for sure that's how I got fat. Was just unlimited carbs.
Yeah, like when people talk about with me, they're always like, well, you don't like staples of being fat. And it's like, that is the case. I get it. However, like what I eat a crap ton of it. Yeah. So I'm still getting fat.
Yeah, you're doing the job. You're putting the work in.
Right. Like, that's the thing. You don't have to have the full variety. Like, if I know I can throw 98 on the black every time, I'm going to throw, maybe the newest version is like 101 on the black. But like, if I can throw 98 on the black every single time, I'm probably going to do that and end up doing pretty well for myself.
Sports reference? For those that don't know what 98 on the black means, it's a sports reference. It's the black outline of the home plate.
That's probably not the worst clarification in the world.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, you're next.
All right. Oh yeah. Reading. Reading is good. Hey, that was just on yesterday. So
Great movie.
Yep. Hey, Fats, with the Chicago Cut Pizza, what are your opinions of super tiny corner pieces that are mostly crunchy crust?
Love
Thanks,
them.
Ryan and the Boring Burbs.
Always one of the first pieces I take.
I always, those four corners are the first pieces every single time.
I love those because it's usually what's great about those, especially if you're like dining in, you can eat those while the rest of the pizza cools off.
That's a great call.
Yeah, that I will always take. So here's what I'll say: the pizza arrives at my table, and we're assuming tavern cut, right? I was pretending I'm at Los Angeles because why wouldn't I?
Right.
I will take a corner and then the two outside pieces next to it.
Okay.
Those are the first three items on my plate are those three, and I eat the corner piece first every time.
Yes, that's fair.
Good question.
It's a great question. And the funny thing is when I say I eat the four corners first, that's me exposing myself. So a lot of time when I get pizza, it's by myself. So those are the pieces that I go to first before housing a vast majority of a pizza in one sitting.
By the way, very excited. Tomorrow is French bread pizza day, inspired by our conversation last week.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I'm going to Milwaukee this week. Tuesday and Wednesday, I'm going to be in Milwaukee.
Nice.
I'm going to see Extreme. You know I love the band Extreme.
Yes.
Of More Than Words fame.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite bands ever. And they're playing in Milwaukee, and I'm like, that's the closest they're going to be. And it's Hope's birthday on Tuesday. I'm like, Hope, I hope you don't mind, but I can't miss the show. It's like, cool,
yeah,
do it. I said, it's going to be my Father's Day gift. I bought the VIP experience. So I'm going to sound check, like did this whole thing, spent a ton of money going by myself. Like 3 days after I do this, they announce a show in Gary, which is like 25 minutes from my house.
Of course.
Of
course.
So anyway, it's fun. We're going to make a little midweek trip out of it before Eddie goes back to school. So I'll have some food reports from Milwaukee. Anyway, that's not why you called. Ryan, another Ryan. We got a lot of Ryans on the show. He says, Rick, Hudsonville ice cream is the best. Often on sale at the Meyer, Deer Track, Mackinac Fudge, or Traverse City Cherry. Prove me wrong. The gauntlet has been thrown down, Rick.
Oh no, I'm going to have to try a ton of ice cream to see if I can prove him wrong.
Yeah.
Sounds awful.
While you're at it, try some of these cookie doughs too. I know you won't try the Snickers because there's a nut in it.
Right.
But
phrasing.
Get the Twix ones and let me know how they are.
Okay.
All right, I think that's
mercifully it.
It was longer than it felt, which I think is a good thing.
It always is.
Thank you.
Anywho, follow us on all of our social media at I'm Fat Pod. I'm Fat Pod. What?
Wait, that wouldn't be good. In the context of which you made it, innuendo wise.
What did you say?
It's longer than it felt.
Oh yeah.
That would be a bad thing.
Yeah, that sounds like would that be the sexual version of misappropriation of funds?
I think so, yes.
Just like knocking the most out of that.
Yes.
Wow, we really need to end this podcast.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
All right. And I'm Fat Pod on all of our social medias. I'm fatpod@gmail.com to send in your suggestions or call me an idiot, and it's all good. YouTube.com/I'm Fat Podcast. Like each video, subscribe there. I'm going out of order. Check out Patreon or Spotify if you like. We'll have the poll question up on Spotify. We'll see if we remember about it next week. I'm fatmerch.com for t-shirts. Sam got herself the ransom note one with the tie-dye, and it looks awesome. Yeah, so that one came in the mail this week, so she's really excited about that. And then subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe, unsubscribe, and resubscribe the regular podcast feed to help us juke the numbers, and leave us the old 5-star review if possible. And the best thing you can do is check out our sponsors, Charlie the Bacon Guy, Mazda of Orland Park, Frato's Culinary Kitchen, and Nick and Ivy Brewing. So for Jay, I'm Rick. And this is the I'm Fat Podcast.
55 burgers, 55 fries, 55 tacos, 55 pies, 55 Coke, 100 tater tots, 100 pizzas, 100 tenders, 100 meatballs, 100 coffees, 55 wings, 55 shakes, 55 pancakes, 55 pasta, 55 peppers, and 155 taters.